Just find your rhythm as you hear it. Unbroken flows the rhythm for me to dance upon. Unbroken flows the rhythm for me to dance upon. Unbroken flows the rhythm for me to dance upon. Unbroken flows the rhythm for me to dance upon. Love flows on, love flows on, love flows on, love flows on. Welcome. Letting yourself flow and rhythmize with the song, which is a wonderful way of connecting today with the next card that we have.
Welcoming everyone across space and time.
Yes. Do I put green? Yes, I think so. Okay.
Wow.
Here we are across space and time with the 8 of staves. We're actually coming close to the end of the numbered cards in the tarot. So in this card, which you can kind of see, they're fireballs kind of going across space, which usually they're in more staff form, but Aida Hussein really did a beautiful job of creating that sense of the fire, the transformation, things happening fast. It's like, wow, we cannot stop it. So in the 8 of Swords, in the 8 of Swords card, when we looked at it, the person in there was totally blinded to and was helpless to take any action. And that is, you can see this is totally different because the action's happening and it's like we don't have any, we can't stop it. And then in the other card, which we looked at, which was the 8 of Cups, the person in the card is taking the action of walking away from something that's no longer really in their best interest. So in this,
but they seem to have tremendous regret, and it's very difficult to let go.
Right, it is, nonetheless. But in this one, there is this transformation taking place. There is these changes that we cannot do anything except find our own rhythm. Come into the breath. Come into a way of connecting with ourselves while all this transformation is going on. I would say that this card right now is it's a representation of the fire and what's going on in the world with the wars. And it's just, it's like, what do? We come into that breath, into that place of our own peace and being with the changes that are happening. So that's the way I've been approaching it. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, for me, when I really stayed with the card a little bit, it was about the way I can go manic and too fast. So I'm taking action, but am I in my breath? Am I in my body? Am I really taking grounded, effective action? Because you can not take action, like in the 8 of Swords, or you can have that regret that makes it hard. Or for this, is a little hypomanic-y. I'm going to take action, but I'm not really grounded, is the danger of the card. The clear, effective action. And you can see the Middle East, how people aren't slowing down, the leaders, and taking grounded, effective action. It's just, we're just too much fire.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think of the people who are in the midst of all of this, who are, because this card for me is not about you taking action as much as that there's action being taken. It's happening around us, the universe. Like we're out in space, so it's like this is not a personal experience of how we're going to take action. It's much more about grounding ourselves when all this is taking place. it may be action that's totally affecting us and our lives, and it will take our lives in totally different directions. But how do we remain really grounded when that happens? So that's why it feels so much connected to what's going on in the world today for me. So we're going to start with the goddess chant, which I can put up for everyone again, just in case you don't have it, which is here. And we'll start with this as our invocation. Everything lost is found again in a new form, in a new way. Everything hurt is healed again in a new time, in a new day. Change is, touch is, touch is, change is. Change us, touch us, touch us, change us, touch us, touch us, touch us, change us. Can we do that one again? Is change us, touch us, touch us, change us, touch us, touch us, change us, change us, touch us. Amen. And I want you to hear the resonance of that Amen. For those of you who don't listen to Korean TV series like we do, Amma is the name for mother. Amma. And this is Amma. And so it's like almost a blessing in and of itself. We're asking for this peace, for this upliftment, to also be grounded in trust, love, okayness, so that we're believing in the healing power, when things are changing all around us and we can't understand it.
Yeah, and it's that safety, protection, security, it's guiding. But we saw a beautiful play on Friday night, Jogging in Lebanon, by a Lebanese woman who talked about how, they've been invaded 3 times. She might be going back to war when she returns home. She's a very famous playwright, a one-woman show, very beautiful. But someone in the audience asked her, how do you deal with all that, and how do you work with it? And she said, you just keep moving forward. And I feel like that's really this card, keeping moving forward. But she's doing it in a grounded, balanced way, really reaching out and touching people through her theater and transforming lives. So,
and one of her practices, she's a Muslim, is that she jogs every day. And that's what she said keeps her.
She was literally jogging through Beirut, through the whole catastrophe.
She's creating, if you feel that rhythm, the rhythm, unbroken flows, the rhythm. Yeah. She's creating her own inner rhythm as she's jogging. So we're going to start with not quite so fast this morning. Instead, we're going to stand and find our pulse. So if you can't find it, your heartbeat, by putting your hand over your heart, which I cannot, it's not a very easy way for me, you can find it in your wrist. It's best not to put your thumb on it, but to put one of the other fingers, and to just begin to feel your pulse, your own rhythm. And as you feel that pulse of your own heartbeat, see if you can get your hips in a really slight action, or just think of it as your whole body swaying little tiny bits to the right and to the left that are swaying out that rhythm of your own heartbeat. And as you find your heartbeat, and that little sway that you have in your body. Keeping your eyes closed, you can drop your hands and begin to feel how your breath coincides with that heartbeat. That's the rhythm that you have. 2 beats to every breath. 1 in for the breath in and for the breath out. 4 beats, 6 beats, 3. See what is your rhythm. And you might notice what your rhythm is when you're just not even trying to control your breath. And what it's like if you extend your breath to come into more conscious breathing. Taking a little bit of a bigger breath in, a bigger breath out. You can put a man on the inhale, a man on the exhale, just reminding yourself of that peace that can come when you let go into what is right now. Not trying to fight it, not trying to change it, not trying to go faster than it. This is your heartbeat, and you're just attuning to it with your breath. So as you let that attunement come, we're going to use this breathing. This a little bit of an extended breath, maybe from what your resting breath is, where you're consciously breathing in, but still attuned to your own rhythm inside. And we're going to begin to just move our bodies with this rhythm. Come into our own groundedness, but feeling how we can move and connect with our bodies with this rhythm. So letting the back and forth movement stop for a moment, keeping your breath in that same pattern, breathing in, deep, rich, full breaths, at least 3 or 4 counts on the inhale, 3 or 4 counts on the exhale. For each time we breathe in now, we're going to create a little bit of it'll be a little effort because we're going to lift something. So we're going to lift our heel off the floor for the count of 3 or 4 as we breathe in, and then put it back down on the exhale. And lift our other one up, other heel. So for each inhale, we're just creating a little bit of effort, lifting up that heel off the floor, and then we come back down. And then we'll let the toe come off the floor. If you need something to hold on to, just for a a few seconds, and then we place it back down on that exhale. And the other toe comes off the floor. If you do it really slowly, your foot's barely off the floor. We'll do that for a couple of times. And just notice when there's a little bit more effort that it takes, like to take your foot off the floor, what happens with your breath? Keep coming back to that solid pattern of breathing. If you can't find it, then don't move for a little while. And then bringing it up just a little bit farther off the floor each time. Feeling into those legs as you do that. And feeling into that place of rest on the exhale. And if you can, really lifting it so that you can almost take your leg in your hands. You don't have to do it, but it's like just knowing that you can lift it up there, let it come back down on that exhale. Really slow. Letting change happen. The breath is always changing from one inhale to the next inhale and exhale. And now bringing your leg out to the side on the inhale and bringing it back. We're working up to speed this morning, so nothing has to go fast yet. Feeling all of the muscles in your legs as you do this. And then bringing it to the back. It's probably easier if you have socks on. Keeping your breath in that rhythm. Nothing needs to go any faster than that rhythm. And then beginning to let your whole body move up for a moment, up on your toes on the inhale, and down on the exhale. Just a little bit on your toes. One more time. And bringing the movement into the hips, letting them move out to one side and coming back. The other side. Just feeling the rhythm of that. What connected to your breath, connected to the stretching. Movement, transformation changes us, stretches us. Let the movement now be through the front of your hips, pushing out, coming back, in the back of your hips, Going front and back a little ways with your breath. And everybody's going to have their own breath pattern, so stay with your pattern. As you complete the last one with this breath pattern, come into your sides of your stretching of your side, one side and then the other. Keeping your breath the same, modifying how fast or slow you do the movement so it'll fit with the breath. Stretching out the whole front of your body. The whole back of your body. Stretching out your shoulders. Front and back. Stretching out your elbows. Going with the rhythm of your breath. Deep, rich, full breaths in. Deep, rich, full breaths out. Stretching your arms all the way through your fingers. Letting them just relax on that exhale. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. So stretching and then letting them just relax on the exhale. No other effort needed. This time, really, when you stretch up your hands, let them flop on the exhale. Let them come back to their own position on the exhale. One more time like that. Gravity just takes care of it. And letting yourself stretch back with your head and then into the center on the exhale. And forward and center. And to the right and the left. That exhale is just always the no efforting, just coming back to center. And then stretching out anywhere that needs it in your whole body on that inhale. And then letting it just come back to center again. And then exhale. Stretching out wherever's needed. Again, a couple more times. And then coming back into just your breath again, noticing that breath pattern. And we're going to shift the breath into the fire breath now. So we're going to stay with the same rhythm. Breathing in through the mouth, through pursed lips, and then breathing out through the nose. So let's acclimate to that rhythm again. If you need to go back to your pulse, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just, if you remember that rhythm that connects you to your pulse. Maybe it's saying Aman. We're going to let ourselves begin to feel a little bit more of what it feels like when the fire comes in. So just that pulsing in the body now, just let yourself pulse with your body, as though your whole body is the heartbeat. In front, you can pulse front and back, you can pulse up and down, you can pulse side to side, but I'm doing it more pulsing front and back. Letting yourself, as you begin to pulse, feel the hands, the arms. Letting your hands move side to side on the inhale, and then letting them just come back to center on the exhale. So we're doing the same thing, only we're quickened. Now we're going to feel the rhythm of the hands, they're moving more. There's movement on the inhale, and then it just naturally comes back on the exhale. I'm being like the ones right now, and I'm going side to side, just imagining those ones flowing and then coming back to center on that exhale. Well, they kind of flop back. You can put more effort on the inhale, or you can just let them swing, but on the exhale, they're just coming down into back to their place. You can also let them fly across you on the inhale, and then just let them fall again. You can let them fly up and down. All around. Backwards, frontwards. Playing with feeling the effort of that fire energy inside you, all around you, and then just letting it come to rest again. One arm and then the other. Side to side. All the way up to all the way down. You can bring your whole body with the arms. Let your whole body move on the inhale. Let it come back to center on the exhale. Be even more, be directive with the movement this time, as though we're in charge. And still coming back to center. And then imagine being indirective, like the body is just moving and flailing about, and we come back to center. On that exhale. One more time. And coming back again to your breath. Back to your pulse. Find that pulse in your body, let it move you. Then just gently beat through your whole body. Let the heartbeat be this pulse that is just there within your body. And broken flows the rhythm for we to dance upon. And bringing your chair over to finding a good place to sit. You can continue to feel that pulse in your body as you're sitting, finding a way to connect with your own heartbeat. Whether you hold your pulse or you just let yourself feel that really gentle pulsing inside, deep inside in your heart. Imagine that whole heart space is opening with that pulse.
So letting your breath be the chariot, be the energy flowing in and out of your heart. Your heart center is soft and porous. You can breathe whatever breath pattern you want, but you might just stay with that fire breath, breathing in a nice, slow, rich, full inhalation through the mouth. Nice, rich, full exhalation out through the nose. And just as we breathe in, know that we're charging. We breathe out, we're releasing. Just doing that, spending a moment, bringing your attention, your direction, the mind, like those 8 fiery comets in this 8 of staves, can want to shoot off in all the directions, but we're providing that ground. Our awareness provides the ground for all the parts of us that in those other cards that wanted to collapse or had that regret, or in this place, the parts of us that just want to shoot off. I know those places in me so well that want to shoot off too fast when they get the idea, especially for the mind types. But here, having that nice metering it, perhaps breathing in 4, breathing out 4, in and out of your heart, bringing the awareness, your intention, grounding it in the sacred space of your heart. If you have selves that want to fire ahead in all directions, just invite them to be with you, grounding in the body, grounding in the breath, grounding in the rhythm, returning to rhythm. But enjoy the light, the love, the light of this card as the breath has that quality of light, breathing in and out of the heart. Light and rhythm. And as you do that, beginning to just imagine the sacred space of your heart today, in whatever form that comes, a place of love, harmony, beauty, nourishment, a place to relax, an inner refuge. In whatever form that comes, whether it's someplace from your childhood or from a dream or that you've read about or you've been to before, but opening with the eye, the ear, the senses of the heart, opening to explore the sacred space of the heart in whatever shape or form it comes to you. This is the alchemical vessel that can hold all these energies, the energies of collapse, and all these 8 fiery comets can hold all the energies of the cosmos, all the energies of all yourselves in the heart. Perhaps in the garden of your heart there's a quality of indestructible innocence. Open yet indestructible, can contain the entire cosmos, can hold the fiery aspects of all the selves that relate to your animal nature, your animal nafs. Enjoying any tingling, spacious openness, whatever qualities, if you feel that, the subtle body, if you feel the energetic quality opening to the energy in and around you, the energy of this 8 of fire, 8 of staffs. And as you do that, just listening to these few words, the sun world dissolving, bathing in moonlight, dreaming while awake. And with all love and all respect, we call High Self, our inner guide, our beloved, the angel of our being, to come into the sacred space of our hearts for a time of communion, a time of guidance, a time of dialogue, but beginning by just breathing in the energy of High Self. There may be all different qualities, but especially welcoming in the energy of light, of fire, letting it come in this beautiful, the fire of High Self, the fire of the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit coming in, containing, holding, and letting that infuse you so that you can fill with light and life and love and energy. Just taking a few moments, breathing that in, letting yourself fill as much as you and yourselves feel comfortable with, and breathing back love and gratitude, letting your breath be a figure 8 of energy coming in and love and gratitude going back to High Self. With any selves that pull you away, they're like those comets pulling you away, the staves, just gently inviting them to come back into the garden, into the sacred space of your heart. Letting one of them know we want to get to know you, but right now just coming back, stepping aside or settling down just for these few moments. Or perhaps circling in the sky of the sacred space of the heart, orbiting around you and High Self. And we just open, beloved high self. Just open, asking high self if he, she has any information, they, them, around opening to the fiery energies inside, those cells that move fast, and the fiery energies in the outer world, opening to how you can hold your rhythm with fiery cells inside and fiery events in the world outside. You may have an answer in words or understanding, or just open to an answer that may come later in the day or in a dream tonight. To help you deepen into dealing with the fire, the fiery cells inside and the fiery energy in the outer world. Just taking a moment to remember a time when you engaged in clear, grounded, effective action in your life. Whether you see, feel, hear, remember, get a sense, or just open to that intention. As an intention is a way we begin to focus these fiery energies inside, but open to some time, whether it was completing a piece of homework, or playing a piece of music, or leading a dance, or making a beautiful meal, something that was beautiful, clear, effective action in your life. Just opening to that memory, and as that remembrance comes in, just opening to the quality of that, opening to all the cells that allowed that to happen. Just taking a moment to really remember, just open to anything that there is to be learned from this moment. What supports that grounded, effective, clear action? And you can stay with this if you wish. You can move at your own rhythm using my voice as a guide. You may move faster or slower. But otherwise, we welcome in a self who at some point just moved too fast. Didn't do that grounded, effective rhythm. Those selves that can be so impulsive and fly off in such an ungrounded way, but have such beautiful energy. That perhaps you remember a time, or you call in a self, taking a moment to open to a time or a self where we can gain access to a self that just goes off into this fiery energy too fast, too unfocused. And this self may take you into action in your outer life, but this self could focus you away from effective action in your inner life also. If you can get a sense of the energy of this one, and perhaps the energy of this one in your body. If there are feelings, is this one irritated or frustrated or fearful? Could be a very reactive protector or firefighter out there, just taking action, but it's not really grounded and effective. It's more reactive. As you get a sense of this one, just bringing love, compassion, curiosity to this one. Any selves that might judge or push this away, just asking them to step aside so you can begin to open. Let this one know you want to hear their story, you want to understand them a little bit. What do you feel your purpose is? Perhaps it's to keep you from feeling powerless or protect from some state of some other inner state, some other part. And make sure this one knows that you're here and that high self is here and there are other selves. There are many resources now. And this one wants, you could invite this one to do a redo, to go back with you, with high self, and replay when that fiery action happened that didn't have the ground. To just take a minute or two to replay that action with ground, with support. And go back to some moment when there was regret, when there was too much fire, and those comets, those stabs flew off. Go back to that and redo it with you, with high self, with this one. And invite all these fiery selves, especially the selves that represent, our animal nature, these animal selves to just be like these comets just circling around you and high self, and that you can all work together. Like harnessing that horse or harnessing that comet. So you're tuning, you're aware, and you're working together. Knowing that your fiery energy in this grounded way is so needed in your personal life and in the world. So inviting all of the selves to breathe the breath of unity, to come together, to breathe with you, with high self, breathing in rhythm with the heartbeat. And then as you're ready, we'll do 2 bows. On the first one, we'll say Aman, bringing that beauty of that safety, protection, that security, that effective action to protect ourselves, to protect others. Once to our inner world, bringing Aman to our inner world, and as we come up, bringing Aman to our actions in the outer world. So as we're ready, taking a nice, slow, rich, full breath in. Taking a moment to let your breath return to your rhythm and just reflecting on your soul work. In today's